another talk about what's going wrong. I was just listening to Self-Titled. Fuck off. And it was making me sad. But like, good sad, you know? Because any emotion induced by Harry Styles is just automatically a good emotion, so. Hey sexies, welcome to today's video. My light just moved on its own. Okay, it's fine. So today I'm going to be filming this makeup Q&A that I said I was going to film about 3 weeks ago. It's fine. It's fine. I'm doing it now. So I've decided I'm breaking this into 2 different videos. I was going to do a get ready with me while I do like my normal everyday base makeup, as well as like a Q&A like in the same video, but it's a little much. So I figured I'd break it into 2 videos and I'm just going to upload them like consecutively. So I'm filming this one after I already filmed the other one. This is part 1. I'm going to be answering your guys' questions as best as I can. And then in the next video, I'm going to show you guys how I do my makeup, my base makeup. Disclaimer, I'm not a professional. I'm not a makeup artist. I'm just someone who has been a fan of makeup and has enjoyed makeup for a majority of my life. And I try and just try my best, and we end up in decent places sometimes. So that's it. I hope that it's helpful. Thank you guys so much to everyone who submitted questions. I hope that I can offer some sort of guidance or something. So let's just get started. Okay, first question. What would be like a good crash course kit for noobs? Just like the general stuff. Well, okay, everything just depends on personal preference, one. Also on experience, like it's all about trial and error for everyone. I swear by that. I've been wearing makeup since I was like 12 or 13. And I've learned what I like through trying things. So yeah, take this all with a grain of salt. From my perspective, what I use is foundation, concealer, eyebrow product, mascara, and setting powder and setting spray as well. And I also use highlight. And you also asked about skin tones with foundations. If you go into any like actual, depending on where you want to buy your makeup from, if you want to go drugstore, sometimes they'll have testers so you can like test it out on your skin tone, and then you have to like let it oxidize and like sit there and see if it like matches well with your skin tone. If not, you said you have yellow skin tone, so that means you're probably like neutral olivey. Try your best to like look at the components and see what matches. That's honestly what I do. It's all trial and error until you like figure out what you like. And I guess that's what's good about drugstore makeup, is that it's cheaper and it usually is of really good quality, so you can play around with it a little bit more without having to like spend $40 on a foundation or $60 on a foundation like most high-end beauty products are. So I have a couple drugstore recommendations foundation that I like and that I've used. I think most of these are either L'Oreal or Maybelline brand, just for whatever reason. They're just good products and they're cheap, and yeah, okay. First up, I recommend L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. This comes in like a little squeezable tube bottle. This is one that I used to use all the time. It's pretty light coverage, but it's buildable, and it was usually always a pretty good match with my skin tone. And then Maybelline has a couple. The one that I use currently, I mix it with another one that I have, is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. This is the matte poreless one. I use shade 128 for reference. It's a little pale, but I mix it with a darker color. I like the texture of it and how it feels on my skin. It's really breathable and it's not super cakey. It's not super heavy, because I don't really like that. And another one that I was weighing this or that between was the Maybelline Super Stay Full Coverage Foundation. I've heard good things about both of them, but I ended up picking this one and I like it, so no complaints. But let's say you don't want to exactly wear full face foundation, concealer, the whole thing. I would suggest you either try out a BB cream. I know this one is supposed to be good, I'm assuming. I don't really know. I've never worn BB creams just because I've always liked more of like, I guess I'm a medium coverage girl, because like BB creams would drive me crazy because like they don't cover the things that I want to cover. But yeah, I'd suggest a BB cream, or you could simply use concealer. So I used to use concealer like on my lazier days. I just like kind of use that as foundation, like a light layer, or if you have a more even skin tone, like I don't, I have like my red cheeks, and then so I'm basically trying to like smooth out the color. I highly suggest just using concealer, because you can just use it like underneath your eyes to brighten or to correct some spots, and then you should be good to go. But yeah, it's all up to what you want. Some drugstore concealers that I recommend. I've heard a lot of good things about the LA Girl Pro Conceal concealer. or the HD concealer. It's pretty cheap and people used to swear by this. I don't really know if opinions have changed, but as far as I've heard, that's a really good one. The go-to for forever for drugstore concealer used to be the Maybelline, the Instant Age Rewind. I did try this at one point. I did like it. I just got it in the wrong tone, and then I ended up just going straight into like higher end concealers. But I have also heard good things about the e.l.f. concealer. So yeah, all pretty cheap, less than $10. I think like some of them are $5. Can I help you, Luna? Hold on. So the foundations and concealers that I use, these are Too Faced Born This Way. I just really like this formula and I think it works pretty well for like my skin texture and like my oiliness and all that. This is my like higher end one, but I mix it with this drugstore one because the colors kind of like blend to give me like the perfect tone that I need, which is probably going to be reality for most people. I've always found it really hard to find one single foundation that was like the perfect color for me. This usually is when I'm tan, like in the summer times. But in like these winter, spring, especially now that I'm fucking sitting inside all the time, I'm more pale. That will probably be a reality for you. I know most people mix their foundations or they're just really lucky and can find a good one that's their right tone. My lash is coming off. Ow. I hope you can't tell. It hurts though. It be hurting though. So this is kind of a higher coverage concealer. I really like this formula. I think the color payoff is good and it covers what it needs to cover. And it's also really buildable, so depending on how much you put on, is what you're gonna get, I guess. I don't know. I did used to use Tarte Shape Tape as well. I just didn't really love the formula on my skin, so that is another one people prefer. But yeah, those are my suggestions. That's what I could come up with in my brain. As for setting powders, we will notice that I have a complete set. I use the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. This is the translucent shade, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the translucent shade. It's good at oil control and for like smoothing my skin, and flashback is not bad with this. From memory, I don't really know. I don't test it that often, but do I have flashback vibes right now? You must tell me. If I'm not using this, then I was using for a while the Coty Airspun powder. This is a drugstore setting powder that people used to swear by. The only thing I'll say about that one that no one warned me about is that it smells like really distinct and kind of like, not like old lady, but like kind of like old lady smell. It bothered me for a while, but then I got really used to it and I didn't mind because it's a good setting powder. Now I'll say when I was living in Italy, my skin was way more oily because the climate was more humid, so there's a lot more moisture. So this powder didn't really work for me as well, and I was using my Coty Airspun like the entire time I was there, so. Makeup is affected by things like that, if you didn't know. I have heard good things also about the Maybelline Fit Me setting powder. I've never tried it, but a lot of people also swear by that, so another alternative. But those are the ones that I use. The most important part about this is application. Using your hands does work a lot of times, but I highly, highly, highly recommend, don't judge me for it being dirty, you need a beauty sponge or a beauty blender. This is my Real Techniques one. This is my favorite. I have tried Morphe and actual Beauty Blender brand sponges, and I like them, but in my opinion, Beauty Blender brand, it's just expensive, and this is cheaper and does the job better, if not at least like on the same level, just as well. And Morphe, I don't mind it. It's just a stiffer sponge, and this one's more comfortable when I'm applying. So yeah, beauty blenders. If you don't know, it's just a makeup sponge. Normally it doesn't have foundation tones on it. It's supposed to be like clean and orange. Excuse me, I did my makeup today. You basically, before you do your makeup, you wet your sponge, you like run it under water, and you like let water get into it, and then you squeeze it out. I normally squeeze it with my hand and then like wring it out a little bit, and then with a towel I'll do it again, if that makes sense, and then like I'm ready for application. So it's a damp sponge, not like a soaking wet sponge. So this is super, super important to my application process, and I know to many people's. You use this to apply your foundation all over your face, as well as like your concealer, and I use this for setting my face too. So what I do is I'll blend my foundation, like the creamy things, foundation concealer, with like one part of the sponge, then the other part, if you can tell, it's not like actually like foundation colored, because this is what I press into my setting powder, and then I like set with this. And I like the sponge because it has the tapered end, but it also has this flat end, and so I'll put this flat end in my setting powder, and that's what I'll bake with. It's a lot of information. Either way, whatever you use on your face, I feel like you need this, like one of these sponges. I get mine at Target. They're really cheap. Mine come in like pack of 2, Real Techniques. But I also use a face brush. You can use any face brush that you need, but when you apply your powder, you're gonna need something to like distribute that with. So yeah. Beauty blender and face brush. Mine is Morphe M439. Now as for mascara, the only one that I feel like I can actually truly vouch for is the one that I use. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. I just love this mascara and it like really never fails. I've been using this consistently for probably like years, like 3 years, something like that. And it's also really important that you have a good eyelash curler. As for highlight and contour go, someone did ask how can I contour my face. I literally have no idea. I have to admit I also don't have like a perfect idea. I don't contour or bronze my face just because like I never really felt like I wanted to or like I needed to. It kind of scares me. If you're not that well versed in makeup, highlight can kind of mean two different things. So in terms of concealer, you can highlight with your concealer as in like lighter colors on like the high points of your face, kind of to draw light, or it can mean highlight like the glitter that people put on their cheeks type of thing, you know? You want to get a highlight that is about a shade or half a shade lighter than the rest of your face so that it has like that like brightening effect, as opposed to one that's like the same color as your foundation, because then it's kind of like, not defeats the purpose, but it's not brightening it. So as far as brows go, if you want like a defined brow, like I do like pretty heavy brows, I recommend a pomade or a pencil. So this is the pomade that I use. This is L'Oreal Brow Stylist Frame and Set in 215 Deep Brunette. It's a little jar component and it comes with this little brush, which I love because this costs like I think less than $10, maybe like $11. So this is like the angled brush that I apply my eyebrows with, and it has a spoolie, which is important for brushing out your eyebrows and like trying to keep it more natural. So I think this is really good, especially for the price that you pay for it. I get mine at Target. There's also like Anastasia Dip Brow, which is really popular. Highly recommend that. If not, then there's a lot of, I'll insert some here. There's a lot of different like brow pencils. I know Benefit has a lot of good brow products as well. Everyone applies their brows differently. Again, this is something that I've had to learn really intensely over the years. I've gone through it with my eyebrows. And I feel like I'm at a place now where I'm like, I genuinely like, I back my eyebrows, like I love them. And there's definitely times in my life when I wouldn't have said that. So if you want to see how I do my brows, that'll be in my next video. You're not always going to apply and like shape your brows perfectly. So a good thing to know is that you can always just conceal it. You can clean it up with a concealer brush. These are the two that I haven't used. They're smaller. I use this one more. This is kind of like an older one that I kind of use when I need to. But this is really good because it's a flat brush. I believe this is just like an eyeshadow brush, but I use it for concealer. I don't remember what it's called and it's gonna kill me, but it's fine. It's good for getting the precise line underneath my brow straight, as well as just anything else. It's a good brush. I honestly have no idea what brand this was. This was given to me by like my mom. So as far as setting sprays go, I've heard a lot of good things about the e.l.f. setting spray. I'll include some here. I can't think of any right now. The one that I use is the Morphe Continuous Mist Setting Spray. Of course, you use it at the end. You hold it, shake it, hold it at a certain distance, and spray for like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, depending on how much you want to set it. Setting spray is really important in my opinion though if you're going to be using like a lot of products on your face, because it will do a good job of melting it all together and kind of like bonding it and setting it and making sure that it's not going to move or glide or be too dry or patchy or whatever. I feel like some days it's just like the healing layer on top of like a mess. Like I'll do my makeup and I'll be like, oh my god, I set it and I let it sit and then we're good. As far as highlight, like glitter or like beaming and glowing goes, I have 3 recommendations of products for you guys. We'll start with drugstore, which is this is the most recent highlight that I've purchased and that I wear. This is like part of my everyday now. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder. This is in shade 333B Golden Flower Crown. So this is just like a cute little powder highlight. I apply this with a little angled eyeshadow brush, but I think it's like a perfect size for how much I want it to take up on my cheek. Next up, I have to show you my jank. Okay, actually, I don't know if I should be recommending this because I don't even know if they produce it anymore. This is from probably 2016 or 2017. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit Ultimate Glow. I don't know. Do you want to see the state of her? This is my baby. This has gotten me through years, as we know. I'm surprised that I have this much left of it, but I have like through the years like tried different products and like different Anastasia palettes. I feel like the glitter is the most like chunky, which I like in this one, and I love the tones. They all kind of like complement my skin tone. My mirror is smashed and it's really dirty, but like it's fine. This is when you wear makeup often enough, like you know that this is just a reality. This is the most expensive highlight that I own, and it took a lot for me to buy 2 of them. I did buy them at different times because I couldn't spend that much money at once. The like most beautiful highlights, Fenty Beauty. This is the Kilowatt highlighter. Oh my this is shade Trophy Wife. This is the gold shade. This is like the most like true gold highlight that I've ever seen. Can you give y'all a swatch? Y'all see that? I don't know if y'all see that. I hope y'all can see that. It's okay. That's another glitter. My favorite is Water Brat, which is the pink. I actually used it on my eyelids today. I like patted it on as like an eyeshadow. Luna, do you mind? Luna! Oh my god. I applied this as well as the glow kit with a brush more like this. This is the Morphe M510, M510, I don't know. And then this is just a little e.l.f. fan brush that cost me like $3. I'll show you how it applies right here. Let's see. Like, it's just such a pretty diffused glitter. I hope y'all are seeing that. It's like, I chose a really weird spot. But it's just, I just love this highlight so much. This is for my days when I just want to be like, this is like one of my favorite products ever. I love Rihanna. I love her mind. But if you don't know, Morphe is really good. They're specifically, their brand is called Morphe Brushes. So they're really popular for their brushes, and their brushes are relatively cheap. They're a really good price for the quality that you get for them. I highly recommend if you need like any sort of brush. And they also sell really good eyeshadow palettes. But yeah, that's my spiel on highlights. This is really funny actually. When I was filming my last Q&A video, I got this and it made me laugh because her question is, what do you think of doing eyeshadow one color on one eye and another on the other eye? And that's literally what I was doing as I read that question. She also asked, best tip for doing perfect eyeliner. If we can't tell, I'm not really good at doing perfect eyeliner. Patience. Good tip is conceal. This concealer brush really saves my life because if I like don't like the sharpness of something or like it's too rounded or whatever, I just take a little bit of concealer on my concealer brush and clean it up. I also recommend if you're going to be doing like graphic liner, I've seen a lot of makeup artists with really good graphic liners. What they do is they'll like dot on the pattern that they want so that they have like general guidelines so that they get it as even as they can before they actually apply, and then they actually apply it. So I haven't tried that, but I know that it's a really good idea. Also, a couple of you guys gave me really good makeup video ideas and I really want to try them, so keeping that in mind. Okay, so I'm gonna ask, how do you keep glitter on your eyelids? LMAO. So when I use glitters on my eye, the glitters that I usually use are Lemonhead LA, and those are like a paste, so the glitter sticks and like it's there. Like you don't need to buy anything else, it's just like the liner and then you just put it on and it's done. I don't really use a lot of loose pigments, but I did recently buy some glitters from this company, Take Two Cosmetics. I think they're based in the UK, and they're like pressed glitters. For the most part, when I use them, I literally just like plop it on there and hope that it stays. But for things like, I know NYX has the little vials of glitter like this. They do sell glitter adhesive. So like little tubes like this. It's important that you buy this so that you kind of prime your lid with it before you put the glitter on, so then the glitter sticks. And it really just depends on the products that you use. The quality helps in how well it's going to stay on your lid or how much work you have to put in to get it to stay on your lid. It all depends. This is my Violet Voss glitter topper that I used like so much in my Euphoria video. It's just like done. Same, this is like really similar to the Stila glitter. Linda asked what's a color or any colors that I hate and try not to wear in my makeup. I'm really scared of black eyeshadow and like smoky eyes, like the general normal smoky eyes, and like I don't gravitate towards browns and neutrals. I want to like push that and try new things with it, so we'll see, fingers crossed. I'm just not really like a neutrals girl because I'd rather like when I do my eyeshadow I want it to be like, you know. I don't know why I just did that. Logan asked me, what's your favorite makeup look that you've done? I feel like I love every makeup look that I do just because some of them are not that great, but they're still fun. One of my favorites that I've ever done is the Euphoria, the blue matte look with the rhinestones and the eyebrows. I really love that look. I did love in my TikTok makeup video when I did Naya's cow eyeshadow. A fun one for me was my Halloween look last year when I did like Beetlejuice. Someone asked which color I like wearing on my eyes the most. This reminds me of a question that I didn't answer in my last Q&A too. I think Brenda asked me if I could only wear one color of eyeshadow for the rest of my life, what would I wear? Okay, the color that I usually gravitate towards the most is like hot pink for some reason, but I feel like if I could choose one color, it wouldn't be a color. I'd choose like a glitter like this, like a neutral pretty glitter that I can just kind of one and done, be over with. What is your favorite makeup brand? I think I love Too Faced. Besides them, I love Lemonhead LA. I love Fenty Beauty. I love Suva Beauty. Their hydro liners are dope. Their hydro liners are what's on my lids. I also love NYX Cosmetics. Beautiful stuff. And L'Oreal and Maybelline. Yeah. Basically all the products that I use, I love those companies. And the last question that we have is, have you ever felt like a clown with makeup and everyone at school stared at you? Because I have. Absolutely. This is funny. Actually, in my last semester of school, I literally wore clown makeup to school, so that was fun. I completely understand. I mean, I felt the same way with like my fashion, and when I would wear makeup, I kind of felt like nervous and insecure and like people were gonna treat me weird or whatever. At the end of the day, it's all about like how you feel in it, and you have to kind of like use that as your shield to be like, okay, if you get ready in the morning and you put your makeup on and you feel like a baddie, you just feel like untouchable, like so good, you have to like harness that energy and just hold on to it the rest of the day, and then you just like won't be worrying about what everyone else thinks of you. And I know that that's like easier said than done, but practice makes perfect. People are gonna have their opinions of you, but if you feel good and happy and makeup makes you feel amazing, don't let anyone else make you feel like shit for that, because it's absolutely not worth it. And that's like the best piece of advice that I've always carried with me through like my expression of fashion and makeup over the years, is not everyone is gonna love what I'm wearing. Not everyone is gonna applaud me or compliment me or praise me. Some people are gonna be like, that's interesting, or really, you're gonna wear that? And it's like, yeah, because I like it, and it's as simple as that. So mind your business, and I hope that you take your negativity and shove it up your butt and deal with that, because that is some internalized bullshit that has nothing to do with me, period. And guess what? Clowns are cute as fuck. Be a clown, wear that clown makeup, baby. Like, who cares? Live your life, honestly. And that's all I got. I hope that I answered all your guys' questions. I tried to give as many suggestions as I could. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment down below like I said, or you can always message me on Instagram or wherever and let me know and talk to me. Thank you for watching. I love you all. I appreciate you being here. Again, I appreciate anyone who sent in any questions, and I hope you're doing well, and I hope you enjoy the next video, which is me showing you how I do this makeup. Or not this makeup, but like this makeup. Okay, bye. Have a good rest of your day.